Hey, hello, everybody. You got me here drinking some coffee from my new fancy cup here. Yeah, it's pretty nice, right? I'm a ROS developer. If you want to get one, you can check the description of the video and you will see how to get one. So let me finish this real quick and let's start. Hello, everybody. Welcome again to the day 2 of this learning week, of this basic ROS learning week. Welcome everybody again. Thank you very much for trusting in us again. And today, as I've already said yesterday, we are going to be working with Python. So let me share one moment here the schedule. All right. So basically, yesterday on Monday we were doing the Linux for Robotics course, which we completed more or less until Unit 2. I don't know. I hope some of you continue doing the course by yourself and you kept learning more about Linux. But today we are going to move directly to the Python for Robotics course here in Tuesday. And for that we are going to be using the Robot Ignite Academy again, just as we did yesterday. I've seen in the chat that some of you have already been logging in and starting the course, so that's pretty nice. Yesterday at the beginning we had some technical problems. In fact, it was not related to the academy itself, but it was related to our authentication system, because we had simultaneously like more than 400 people trying to log in at the same time, and it crashed, it collapsed. But it was because of a bad configuration. We have solved that. So for today, you shouldn't have any problem logging in. Even if you try to log in all together at the same time, it's going to work, so don't worry, everything is okay now. And yeah, so let's move to the PC. Let's go out to the Ignite Academy, and one second here. All right, so here I am already in the Ignite Academy. And for the ones who are new, by the way, let me tell you this. Here you have the Robot Ignite Academy. You can create an account for free in less than 1 minute. So I suppose that most of you already have the account and already know about the Academy, but in the case that there's someone new, you can come here to the robotigniteacademy.com page and create an account totally for free. Then today we are going to be following the Python 3 for Robotics course here in the free courses section. And as I also said yesterday, I want to repeat it again today. So please don't stay there listening to me and to my pretty voice talking, but please open the course, and as I'm going to be doing things and I'm going to be progressing through the course, you have to do the same as I am doing. Yeah, you have to keep practicing and doing the programs yourself with me, yeah, all together and practicing. Yeah, that's the most important part of this. So I want you to really practice so that you can really learn all the concepts. Yeah. All right. So this being said, let's all start the Python 3 for Robotics course here by clicking on the Start course. Let me have a quick look at the chat here. Hello again. I can see here Evangelos Charalampidis. Hi from San Diego, says feel good. Hey again guys, Oliver Simon. Excellent. Hello from Seville, Miguel Ángel. Hello, hola Miguel. All right, so yeah, I can remember some of the names I'm seeing here from yesterday, so welcome again to this learning week. Let me know please here in the comments if you are being able to start the course, if you already have the course loaded. If you have any problem, please let me know here so that I can continue knowing that all of you are on the same path as me. I see Sarah here asking, is the MOOC disinfected? Yeah, it's super disinfected. Don't worry by my health. I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. Hi from Israel. Hello everybody. All right, so let me come here to my Ignite Academy. This is still loading. So I'm going to drink a bit of coffee one more time with my fancy, hello, cheers. All right, goodbye. Let's go back to the academy. All right, so this is starting to load, almost there. Loaded. The course loaded, okay. Loaded, everything okay. Loaded and ready to go. Raul Catacora Grundy says, finished the Linux course and have some questions for today's course. Okay, this question, it comes pretty handy right now because I want to introduce you to a new concept. So, and then I'm going to talk about another one. But first of all, here in the academy, yeah, you can see all the sections with the notebook, IDE, the shells, and the gazebo simulation. And also here you can see a section that says Get Help. Yeah. So if you click here, this is going to take you directly to our forum. Yeah. This is the forum for our Ignite Academy, where you can see that we have many questions from our users. And in case you have because today we are going to focus on the Python course, we cannot spend time solving questions about Linux. So in case you have done by yourself the Linux course or even the Python course for today, and you have questions, please post them here in this forum and we are going to answer them. Yeah, myself, I'm going to answer the questions with my team. So yeah, I wanted to say this today. So please, if you have questions from yesterday for the Linux course, if today you have questions from the Python course and also for the rest of the week, questions related to ROS, please post them there in the forum. And also, another thing I wanted to say is that yesterday you had many of you requesting us to create a kind of group in Telegram, for instance, or in Discord or whatever, but you are requesting some kind of platform so that you can talk between you and chat. Yeah. So I want to let you know that we are thinking about it and we are going to provide an answer to you probably tomorrow or during this week. We are going to create and we are going to provide to you a place where you can talk between yourselves about your robotics project, about your lives, whatever you want, but especially about robotics things. So we want to create this kind of place where all you ROS developers and robot developers can chat and share your projects between you. Yeah. So we are thinking about that. Don't think that we have forgot about everything you said yesterday about that. So we are thinking about it and we are thinking about the best way to do this. And we are going to let you know once we have a final decision, probably tomorrow or at least it's going to be this week for sure, yeah? So yeah, I wanted to say these two things, first of all. And in my case, I already have here, let me close the forum now. I already have here my course loaded. Great. I'm in Python Essential, but I'm going to move very quickly to the introduction, to the first unit, in order to introduce a little bit about this course and why we want to teach you Python. But before starting, let me have a last look. This is unit 2. Okay, yeah. Yeah, but before starting, let me have a last look here at the chat. Okay, I can see ready, loaded. Kraken is asking, sorry, what should I be opening? You should be opening the Python 3 for Robotics course. From the Robotic Ignite Academy. Yeah? Then the Python 3 for Robotics course. Okay, I can see there Ruben is already answered your question. I can see here also saying this course would be nice for a group. Do I need to change my course or reload? Okay, I can see my colleagues are already answering you, so I'm going to keep going to Mauricio Ferrari. All right, so I am here, yeah, Unit 1, Introduction. I have a robotic arm here. Yeah, so this is meant to be like this. You should have this simulation here of a robotic arm with a small table in front with a red ball here and some tools. Yeah, so this is is the introduction unit. So here, basically, I want to introduce you to Python. I suppose that most of you already know what is Python, but basically Python is a programming language. But why Python and not another one? Yeah. Well, mainly I want to provide you with 3 strong reasons why we want to teach Python today and not another language. First of all, Python is one of the most popular programming languages for robots, if not the most. Yeah, the 2 most popular programming languages for robots are Python and C++. Yeah, but each year Python is gaining more power. Yeah, in robotics programming. So this is the first reason. Python is the most or one of the most popular programming languages for robots. Then the second reason is that there are a lot of artificial intelligence libraries used for robotics that are written in Python. Yeah. For instance, OpenAI, reinforcement learning algorithms of OpenAI. Also, OpenCV libraries for image processing, yeah, for perception, for dealing with perception. Also, deep learning algorithms of TensorFlow. All of these are written in Python, yeah, and many of these are tools that are heavily used in robotics, yeah. So here you have the second reason why we want to teach Python, and finally, because at the end we want to learn ROS. So the main goal of this week is that you have a basic knowledge of ROS that allows you to create programs for your robots in order to solve a certain problem. Yeah. So this is the main goal of this week, that you learn the basics of ROS. Then the best way for us, the best way and the fastest way to learn ROS is by using Python. Yeah, because Python is easier to understand than C++, and by learning ROS using Python, you're going to remove a lot of artificial problems that you can find on the way. Yeah, so this way you can focus more on learning ROS concepts and forget a little bit about the programming language. Yeah. So the best way for us and the fastest way to learn ROS is by using Python. So here you have the 3 main reasons why we want to teach you Python today. Yeah? Then, let's go for it. So first of all, we are going to start practicing from the very beginning. And the first thing we are going to do is to create the first Python program. Yeah? Let me come here and see what I have here. Alright, so I'm going to come here to my Kakin workspace and I'm going to remove all I have so that I start clean, just as you. So I'm going to remove here this. Alright, so I have my workspace empty and I'm going to start at the same point as you guys are. So the first thing, let's create our first Python program. So for this, we are going to start using things that we learned yesterday. So the first thing is going to be to create a file, yeah? So for that, we can use the touch command. For instance, you remember that we were using the touch command yesterday in yesterday's class? So let's use the touch command in order to create a new file. And we are going to name this file. Let's name it, let me see here. armcontrol.py, yeah? So we can create it here from the shell as this, touch armcontrol.py. This is going to create here the file, or another option, if you prefer it, is to create it directly from the IDE. Yeah, so you can come here to the src folder, right click, choose the new file option, and here you introduce the name armcontrol.py, and the file is going to be generated as well. Yeah, so you can do it the way you prefer, the way it's better for you. So yeah, here we have the armcontrol.py, and now, first, what we are going to do is to copy this code we have here into our file. Yeah, so I'm going to select here this code, this Python code, Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V. So I am pasting this code here, I have in the notebook, to my Python file. Yeah. Then this code here contains some Python classes, etc. So probably at this point you don't understand what this code is doing, but don't worry. So during the course we are going to be talking about all these things, about Python classes, how to call functions, how to import modules, etc. Yeah. So at this point, this is just a demonstration to see what a quick use of a Python script. Yeah, but this is not still the course material. So once we start the course and we keep progressing through the different units, you are going to understand. You are going to be able to fully understand what this means. Yeah. But for now, just create your Python script and copy paste this code into your Python script. All right. Great. Then we are going to execute it. How? Well, by using the Python keyword. Yeah. So this is the way that you are going to usually execute a Python script. So you have to be, first of all, important, you need to be in the folder that contains your Python script, which in this case it's Catkin workspace src. We can come here using the cd command, yeah, which we learned yesterday as well, this cd command, change directory. So cd Catkin workspace src, here I can do an ls, another command that we learned about yesterday. And here I can see that I have this arm control.py Python script, yeah? Then one thing we can do here is to, for instance, give execution permissions. chmod +x arm control.py. This is one thing we could do, but in this case, I believe it's not necessary. Let's try to execute it directly like this, python arm control.py. Okay, so this is executing. Here we are seeing some outputs. Okay, and we can see here how our robot arm, it starts to move and it's going here to pick this red ball. You can see here how it is picking it. And then it finishes and it releases the ball. Yeah. So basically here in a couple of minutes we have created this Python script, which basically is meant to make the robotic arm, pick this red ball from the table. Yeah. Super easy. So remember, from here, basically what I want you to remember is, first of all, we can execute Python scripts using the Python keyword plus the name of the Python script we want to execute. Yeah, you have the structure here. Then, also super important, all Python scripts must have the .py extension. Yeah, this .py extension is going to tell the system that this is a Python script. Yeah, important also. All right. Okay, excellent. Then finally, in order to end this introduction to the course, what are we going to learn with this course? Probably we are not going to have time to cover all the steps, but we are going to be doing them progressively, and when we finish, remember that you can keep doing the course by yourselves, yeah? So don't worry if we don't have time to cover all the materials, because you can do it yourself at home at your own pace, so don't worry about this. Then, basically, what we are going to learn in this course, in order, is, first of all, how to store data into variables, how to operate with the data in the variables, how to change behavior based on conditions, yeah, conditional statements. Also, how to create functions that can be called from other places of the code, super important, functions, yeah? And finally, how to encapsulate the code into classes, into Python classes, so that you can have a clean and robust code. Yeah, also a super important concept, Python classes. So we are going to learn all this during this course. And how are we going to learn it? Well, basically by working with robots. Yeah, so by interacting with robots. In this course, we are going to work with Turtlebot robot and with Summit Excel robot. Yeah. All right, and then we are ready to go. The requirement is Linux, which we already did yesterday, so we are okay. And then, now, let's move to the next unit. Remember, here, at the left bottom corner of the screen, you have here the list of units, so you can click here in order to open it, and then we are going to move to the unit 2, Python Essential, yeah? There we go. Then this is going to reload the notebook, it's going to load the new notebook, and it's going to reload as well the simulation, because we are going to start working with the Turtlebot robot now, so it has to load this new simulation. And meanwhile this loads, I'm going to have a look at the chat and let's see how things are going. let me see here. What is okay, yeah, Balaji here, Balaji Babu is asking, could you please tell me what robot we are using today? We are going to be working with Turtlebot 2 robot and with Summit XL robot. Yeah? Then okay, yeah, I can see that my colleagues are already answering most of the questions. It does not work. I can see Anna here saying it does not work. You need to load it, you need to load it, I can see here. Okay, Anna, my colleagues are going to help you here because it's pretty strange. It should work flawlessly since there is no strange things there. It's just to execute a Python script. So don't worry. We are going to solve it. All right, loaded, I can see here. Okay, so everything seems to be working fine. Okay, so let's keep going. Yeah, so here we have Python Unit 2, Python Basics. So here we are going to start with the course material. Then, first of all, I want to introduce a couple of things. So we have to do a couple of previous steps before start working. Then, first of all, this is meant to be a Python course. So we want to focus in teaching Python. Yeah, how to program using Python. Yep, so this course is not meant to teach you how to work with ROS. However, we want to teach you Python for robotics. So in some way, we want to make your programs interact with robots. Yeah, and for this, we need ROS. But we are going to keep this ROS layer, let's say, under the hood. Yeah, so that you don't have to really use it. You are going to be programming just Python. You don't need to know ROS at this point. Yeah, but we have created a ROS layer. Let's say that you are going to be able to use in this course calling functions that are going to allow you to interact with the simulation. Yeah, for reading sensor data, for moving the robot, etc. Yeah, so this course is meant to teach Python, not ROS. Yeah, we are going to start with ROS tomorrow. All right, then another thing, because ROS works by default with Python 2, but in this course we want to teach you Python 3 since it is the last version. Yeah, and it is the one that is going to be the most used. So in this course we are teaching Python 3. Yeah, and so for this, what we are going to do is to activate a virtual environment that we have created here that is going to allow us to work with Python 3. Yeah, here you have the command. This command here, if you copy it and paste it into your shell, this, you're going to see that here your prompt changes to py3 VM. This basically has activated a Python 3 environment. So now, any program that I execute here in my web shell is going to be executed using Python 3. Yeah? You can check that here doing a Python version, and here we have Python 3.5.2. Yeah? So, very important. Every time you execute your Python programs that you're going to create during the course, here in the shell, remember to have this Python 3 virtual environment activated. Yes, you are going to see that it's activated because you will have this prefix here in your prompt saying py3 VM. All right. Then we are going to start here doing a first exercise that is going to help us introduce some basic concepts like data types and variables. So let's start all together. I'm going to do it with you, but you have to do it as well in your laptops, in your computers. Yeah, remember. So you have to do this as well with me. Then, first of all, let's execute this command. We are going to move to the Cat King workspace SRC, to our workspace. Yep. Here we are. Then here I'm going to use the mkdir command in order to create a new directory. Mkdir robot underscore control. Yeah, I'm going to create a new folder, call it robot underscore control. There we go. Here it appears my new, let me close this. Here it appears my new folder, yeah, robot control. Then I'm going to go inside this folder, so cd robot control, and here I'm going to create a new Python script, here with touch, using the touch command, yeah? So, touch py script 1.py. Yep, so here I have created inside my robot control folder a Python script which is named pyscript1.py. Yep, then inside this script I'm going to get this code here, copy it and paste it. Yeah, so Control C and Control V and paste into my script, into my pyscript1.py. Yeah, here I have it. Excellent. And now, in order to execute it, as we already know, we are going to use the Python keyword. So we have to type here in our shell Python pyscript1.py. There it goes. And here we have the output, which is the distance measured is 2.48, etc. Yeah? Alright, so what is this? What does this output mean? And what does this program do? Yeah, so what is all this? Okay, let's go by parts, part by part. Let's analyze the code part by part. So first of all, we have here an import line, yeah? The very first line of the code, of the script here, is an import. Then basically here we are importing this robot control class, yes? This is a Python class which contains ROS code, yeah? This is generated by us. This class has been generated by us and we provide it to you so that you can use it. And this class basically what does is to connect, is to allow you to interact with the simulation without having to worry about ROS, yeah? So this class contains many ROS functions that will allow you to interact with your robot, for instance, in order to get information about its lasers, in order to move the robot, etc. Yeah? So you are going to need to import this class in most of the programs that you are going to create in this course, yes? Because this class is going to allow you to interact with the robot. Yeah? Then we are importing this robot control class from this robot control class, yeah, from this module, which is named robot underscore control underscore class. Yeah? Then this is, if you want to learn more about this class, if you are interested, you can come here to this path and you are going to see the contents of this class, but this I'm not going to show it right now because it's not the purpose of this live class. But here inside you are going to see this robot control class program with the robot control class, yeah? And if you're interested, you can have a look here and see what it does, yeah? But basically, as I've said, this class is going to allow you to interact with the robot by calling its functions, yep? Then, next thing, what are we doing here? Here, we are creating a new variable, which is named RC, yeah? And in this variable, we are storing an element, which in this case, it's an object of this robot control class, yeah? Then, some concepts that I am saying right now, like classes, functions, maybe you are not understanding what this means, but don't worry, yeah? Because during the course, we are going to be talking about all this. So, for instance, in Unit 4, is going to be dedicated to classes, yeah? So, you are going to perfectly understand what a class is and how to create a class, how to use it, etc. And also with functions, etc. So maybe some words that I am saying right now sound strange to you, but don't worry, because I can promise you that when you complete this course, you are going to understand everything perfectly, yeah? Then, let's keep going. So here we are creating a new variable named RC, and we are storing here in this variable an object of this robot control class, yep? Why? Well, because now we are going to be able, through this variable, to call the functions of this robot control class, which is exactly what we are doing here in the next line. Yeah. So here we are creating another variable which is named A, and we are accessing using the first variable we created here, the RC variable, which contains the robot control class. We are calling the getLaser function. Yeah, and we are passing a parameter here to this function. Then, what is this getLaser function? This getLaser function is a function provided by this robot control class that we have created. Yeah. Then we need to provide, in this case, a parameter here, which is the distance, which is, sorry, the beam of the laser. Yeah. So let's come here because you are going to understand it better. Yeah. So yeah. So here we have the getLaser function, and we have to provide to this getLaser function an array number. Yeah. So if you know about lasers, about lidars, you know that they produce beams. In this case, the one in this simulation, you can see it mounted here at the top. If you come here to the simulation and make it bigger, you are going to see here that at the top we have here the laser mounted. Yeah, it's this small module that it has here on the top, the robot. Yeah, this is the laser, and then this is generating many beams. I lost here the focus of the simulation. Okay, there we go. Then this laser is generating many beams. Yeah, something similar as the picture you can see here. Then in this case, this laser has a range of 180 degrees, more or less, and it produces a total of 720 beams, like these ones. Yeah. Then, depending on the beam you choose, on the position of the beam you choose, you are going to be getting the readings from one side, from one direction or another of the robot. For instance, if we have a look at the laser beam number 0, it's going to be the first one here at the right side of the robot. Yeah? If we choose the beam number 719, we are going to be choosing the first beam here at the left side of the robot. And if we choose the middle number, which is 360, we are going to be choosing the laser beam which is right in front of the robot, which it's oriented towards this wall here. Yeah. So basically what is going to happen here? If we check the laser beam number 0, this is going to give us a detection of what? This is going to give us a value of infinite. Yeah. Why? Because the laser beam is going to keep going until the infinite. Why? Because it's not... Sorry? Why? Because it's not finding any obstacle in its way. Yeah? And because it's not finding any obstacle in its way, it's going to go all the way until the infinite, until the maximum range, of course, which in this case, I believe it's 30 meters or something like this. Yeah? Then what happens if we choose to have a look at the laser beam number 719, which is here? Well, it's going to happen exactly the same. Yeah, we are going to get a value of infinite because the laser beam is not going to find any obstacle on its way. Yeah, but what happens if we choose to have a look at the laser beam number 360, which is here facing, pointing to the wall? Yeah, then we are going to get the value of this laser beam until it finds an obstacle, until in this case it finds this wall here in front of the robot. Yeah, so let's go back here to our program. Here we are calling this getLaser function and we are providing the value of 360. So basically here in this variable, in the variable named A, we are storing the value of the laser reading, which is here right in front of the robot. Yeah? Here, the one which is pointing here towards the wall. And then at the end of the program, we are printing this variable. Yeah? We are using here the print function, which basically is going to print this string that we have here plus the value contained in the variable A. So Here, when we executed this program, the PyScript1, we got this. The distance measured is 2.48, etc. Yeah? So, what does this mean? Can you guess? Does somebody know what this means? Well, basically this means that the laser beam here right in front of the robot is detecting an obstacle which is at 2.48 meters of distance, yeah? So this wall is at 2.48 meters of distance from the robot, yeah? So this is basically what this program is doing, super easy. So we are importing here this robot control class, which is going to allow us to use some functions, like this getLaser function, that allows us to get information about the laser of the robot. In this case, we want to know the information of the laser beam, which is at the position number 360, yeah? And with this information, we can know that this wall here is at 2.5 meters, more or less, of distance of the robot, yeah? Pretty interesting, right? So with this, we could do many things. We could create programs that tells the robot to stop when the distance to the wall is less than 1 meter, for instance. Well, many things, yeah, which we are going to learn how to do during this course. So don't worry. Yep. Then one last thing I want to mention here before we go is the concept of calling a function. Yeah. So here, in order to be able to call this function, first of all, we need to create an object of this robot control class and store it into a variable, like we are doing here. Yeah. In this case, we are creating an object of this class, and we are storing it into the RC variable. And then, using this RC variable, which contains the class, here we can call any function of this class. Yeah, like this, rc.getLaser. In this case, we are calling the getLaser function, but during the course, as we progress, we are going to see more functions that we can access and that are going to be very useful for many things. Yep. So, again, don't worry if you don't fully understand what a class is, what the concept of a function is, or of calling a function. Don't worry. We need to introduce this so that you can start from the beginning using and interacting with the robot. But as the course goes on, we are going to keep addressing all of these issues and explaining what they are and how they work. Yeah. So don't worry. Excellent. So we are done with this brief introduction. So at this point, we are going to start here with the exercise and theory with variables. But before that, let me have a quick look at the chat and let's see how things are going. And also, I'm going to have another. Let me switch very quickly here. The camera. So I'm going to have another drink here to my coffee. Delicious. All right, let's go back. Let me have a look here very quick to the questions or to the comments that we are having in the chat. Hi from San Diego, California. Are the links for the daily classes changing? No, Felipe, no. They are going to be. We have already. We have them in our YouTube channel, they're ready, and they are going to be like that. So don't worry, they are not going to change. I can see some questions there about the exam as well. I'm going to talk about the exam. Let me do a very brief introduction so that you know, but I'm going to explain more about it at the end of this class. But here, let me switch very quickly to the PDF. So here, remember that after today, and when you have completed Linux for Robotics and Python for Robotics, you are going to be able to do an evaluation test, which is optional. You can do it or not. It's up to you. It's completely free. But if you later, I'm going to explain you how to do it. But if you pass it, you are going to get a certificate which you can use, for instance, to display in your LinkedIn account. Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. Then remember this, because I've seen someone talking there about the exam. So yeah, remember that after you can take it today when we finish the class, or in some hours, or even tomorrow, or during the week. It doesn't matter, yeah. But basically, you need to have completed, or at least have the knowledge about Linux for robotics and Python for robotics, yeah. Then when I finish this class, I'm going to talk more about this. I'm going to give more details to you. But let's go back to work. I was reading here the chat. Let's see how it is going. G20 Matthew. Okay, that's a very good question. He's saying, how is it possible to execute the Python file without giving execution permissions with chmod plus x? This is a very good question, because yesterday we had problems trying to, if you remember, we had problems trying to execute the file because it didn't have execution permissions. Yeah? What is the difference? That now we are calling the Python file directly with the Python program. Yeah? So we are able in this way to execute it. If we call it this function, this program from ROS, we would get an error. Yeah? So if we call it this program using ROS run, not directly, we would get an error that we don't have execution permission for this file. Yeah? But because we are executing it and calling it directly with the Python program, then we can overcome this and we are able to execute it. Yeah? To execute it through the Python program. Yeah. Now let me go back here. Master asks, is RC an object? Well, now yes. RC initially, this is a variable, yeah? This is a variable that it's of no type. We are going to do this right now, yeah? Then when I assign this, which is an object of a class, then this variable becomes an object of a class, yeah? So usually, let's keep going, because this question reminds me that this is explained right here. So usually in other programming languages like C++, let's say, or Java, you need to declare first your variable and you need to assign a type to it. So in C++, for instance, you need to write int, indicating that your variable is going to be an integer. Then you put the name of the variable and you assign a value. Yeah, this would be in C++. So when you define a variable, you need to tell which type this variable is going to be. Yeah. In Python, this is not necessary. In Python, you can directly write the name of your variable and assign a value to it. Yeah. And then your variable is going to become whatever the type of the you have assigned to that variable. Yeah. So for instance, and even this can change in runtime. So let me show you here some examples we have in the theory. So basically, as you may already know, variables are used in order to store that data, any kind of data. Yeah. So for instance, here we have some examples. We have here a variable a, which we are assigning an integer, here a string, here a list, etc. Yeah. Then, as you can see, we don't need to declare which time is going to be any of them. We just write the name of the variable and we assign some data to it. It doesn't matter. Yeah? Okay, 1 second.
Looks like still there is a problem there. Okay. No. Okay, wait a second. Okay. It's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem, we can keep going. All right, so as you can see here, we don't need to tell previously which type is going to be our variable. We just declare it here, we think of a name, we assign some data to it, and we start using it. Yeah, so it's that simple. Yeah, super simple. That's why Python is so powerful, and it's so powerful especially for educational purposes. Yeah, then even we can change. Of course, we can change in the value of a variable on runtime. So here, for instance, we create the variable a, we assign a value of 5, but then here we just assign a value of 6. Then at the end, if we print the value, it's going to be 6, yeah? So if I run here my program, this is going to be a value of 6. Yes, you can see it here. Then also, we can change the type of a variable, yeah? So here we can declare a variable named a, and we assign a value of 5, which is an integer, into this variable.
Alberto, no vemos tu pantalla.
Ah, okay, sorry. You are seeing me. Okay. Let me change here to the PC. Okay. Yeah, you were seeing me talking. All right. So now you should be able to see my screen. Yeah. To see my Robot Igniter screen and what I am doing here. Yes, let me wait a moment for
Not yet.
confirmation that you can see my screen.
Okay. Now.
Yeah? All right, excellent. Let me see this 1 second. He perdió la conexión con el chat. All right, so give me one second.
Looks like there is a small problem here.
All right, yeah, it's working. Because I for one moment I lost the chat and I wasn't able to see your comments. So now I have recovered the chat. I have switched the screen to the Robotic Night Academy, so we are ready to go. All right, so yeah, I was talking here about the variables, yeah, and I was saying here that you can even change the type of a variable on runtime. So you can declare here a variable which is an integer, and right below in the code you can assign a different type, which in this case it's a string. Yeah, so here it's an integer, and here I assign a string to this variable, and automatically this variable is going to change its type to a string. So at the end, if we print it, we are going to get here ultimately the string. Yeah. So this basically answers also the question that Master was doing, which was asking me what's the value of the RC variable here. So basically, this variable is going to get the type of the data I assigned to it. Yep. All right. Then let's keep going here. Here we have a small exercise. However, I don't know. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it here quickly all together. So here it says, inside the robot control folder, create a new Python script named variables.py. Okay, so here I'm going to create a new Python script, which I'm going to name variables.py. Yep. Then inside this script, add the necessary code that does the following. So first, you call the function getLaser with any number and store its response into a variable named laser1. Okay, so what do we need to do? First of all, here it says that we need to call the getLaser function. So in order to call the getLaser function, the first thing I need to do is to import the class that provides this function. Yeah, so basically I need to import this robot control class. So I can take this line from here and paste it to my new script. Yeah, so from the robot control class module, I import the robot control class. Now, what else do I need to do in order to be able to get laser function? Well, I need to create an object of this class and store it into a variable. Yeah, so basically I need to do this one more time. Then let me do this. I create an object of this robot control class and I store it here into the RC variable. Yep. And now I can call the getLaser function from this RC variable. So it says call the getLaser function with any number and store its response into a variable named laser1. So I'm going to create here the variable laser1, and I'm going to call here the get laser function with any number. So I'm going to assign here, for instance, the number 0, let's say. Yeah? Okay, so here I have imported the robot control class, I have created an object of this class, and then here I am calling the getLaser function with any number. In this case, it's 0. Yep? Then, second, you will print this value in order to see what you get. Okay, then here, at the end, I'm going to add a print statement, which I can also, to save time, I can copy it from here. I'm going to copy and paste it here. Print. The distance measured is, and here I need to change this to laser1, yeah, because in my case here I have the value in the laser1 variable. So okay, so let's call this program and see what we get. So if I execute now this Python script with python variables.py, I'm getting here the distance measured is inf. What does inf mean? Infinite, basically, yeah? So no obstacle detected. The laser beam is not colliding with any obstacle in its way. And does this make sense? Yeah, it makes total sense. Why? Because here we are checking the laser beam number 0. And do you remember here that from this image we have here that the laser beam number 0 is here. It's at the right side of the robot. And here at the right side of the robot, which is in this direction, we don't have any obstacle. So it's perfectly normal and expected that we are going to get an infinite value. Yeah? Okay. So far, so good. Let's keep going. What does the exercise say next? Okay, says then you will call the getLaser function again with a different number, and you will store its response in another variable named laser2. Okay, so now I'm going to create another variable, laser2. I'm going to call again the getLaser function with a different number. So in this case, I can use, for instance, the 360, yeah? Which is going to give me a number in this case. I know it's going to give me a number more or less 2.5 or something like that, yeah? Because I already saw it here in the first example. So I'm going to get a number similar to this. Then in this laser2, I store this value, and then again you will print this value in order to see what you get now. So one more time, I'm going to print this. And in this case, I'm going to print the laser2 variable. Yeah, so let's try to execute one more time our program. And if everything goes as expected, we should get the same as before, and another line below that says the distance measured is 2.5 or something similar to that. So let's execute this. And effectively, here we have the distance measured is inf, which is the value for the laser beam number 0, and right below the distance measured is 2.49, which is the value stored here in laser2, which corresponds to the laser beam number 360, yeah? So this makes perfect sense. Then, at the end, here it says, finally you will call the getLaser function one last time with a different number. Now you will store its response in the same variable laser2. So, one more time, I'm going to repeat this. But I'm going to store it in the same variable as before, in the laser2 with a different number. So let's say 719. Yeah? Then, and you will print again the value of this laser2 variable to see what you get now. Okay, and one more time, I print the value here in the laser2 variable. Yep, there we go. So, what is the expected output of this program? Alright, so first of all, this, I should get this string saying the distance measured is infinite, because we are printing the distance at the right side of the robot, which doesn't have any obstacle. Then, the second string is going to say the distance measured is 2.49, because here I'm printing the position 360, which corresponds to the front of the robot. So here I'm detecting the distance to this wall here, yeah? Then at the end, this same variable, laser2, is going to be reassigned to the position 719, which corresponds to the left side of the robot, which again is infinite, because we don't have any obstacle here. So, the expected is that we are going to get here 3 different strings. The first one is going to be inf, the second one is going to be 249, and the last one is going to be inf one more time. Yeah? So let's execute this and see what we get. And yeah, here we have it, yeah? So we have the first one inf, the second one it's 248, it has changed it a little bit. Keep in mind that this has some error, yeah? So the laser readings have a small margin of error. And finally we have the infinite value one more time, yeah? Okay, excellent, so far so good. So let's see how, let me have a quick look at the chat and see how you are doing. Let me come here. Okay, so the first thing I see here from Sahil Aurora. Why is the laser measuring different values with the same laser number 360? Well, it's because of this. Because the laser has a small error in its lectures, yeah? So you are not going to get the exact same reading every time. Yeah, so you have a small error that can be different. Of course, if you get 2.49 here, and then I get 2.488, the error is of, I don't know, it's 5 or 4 millimeters, yeah? So this is an acceptable error. Of course, if I get a 2.5 value, and then in the next one I get a 10 meters value, this makes no sense at all, yeah? But you have to keep in mind that there is a small error that can that will make the readings vary, yeah? Let's see what else do we have here. Okay, my Python code worked, excellent. Thanks everyone. Yes, it returns an array of arguments. Welcome. Okay. Oh, thank you for clarifying. Okay, I see that you are also talking between you and solving doubts between you, which is super nice. That is great. I love it. So keep doing it. If you see a colleague that is doing some kind of question and you know the answer, please go ahead and answer it yourself in the chat. So, okay, Agnieszka Pukac says, why 719? Ah, yeah, I see that it is already answered. Yeah.
One question that is commonly asked
Yes.
is why they get different values with the same laser number.
Yeah, I have already
Okay.
answered that. Yeah.
Okay.
Right now. Yeah, so I have here Ricardo, which is giving me support here with the chat and everything.
I was answering someone.
Yeah. Yeah, here it has a noise, you can see here. Python code works very well. Okay, excellent, very cool. Yeah, Mauricio Ferrari says, very cool, the simulation has error like the real environment. Yeah, that's right. So in a real environment, you will also have this error, the same error margin that the same laser beam can return different readings. And in the simulation, you have exactly the same behavior. Yeah? All right, so let's keep going. I see that everything is going well, so I'm going to keep going. Let me have a drink, one moment. All right, so let's keep going. Let's keep rocking it. Let's go back here to the course. Okay, so the second thing we have here are data types, yeah? So as you have already seen here, we have been talking about integers, strings. So in Python you have many different data types. Yeah. Here we are going to have a look at the most important ones, which are basically numbers, strings, lists, tuples, and dictionaries. Yeah. Then for numbers, we have two different types of numbers, which can be integer, like this. Yeah. And we have also floating numbers. Yeah. So 0.5 is a float. Yeah, this is pretty easy, so I'm not going to talk much and lose much time on that. Then we have strings, which basically it's a phrase. Yeah, a character of or a sequence of characters. This is known as an string, which are declared like this. Yeah, so as you can see, when you declare an integer or a float, you can declare it directly like this. Yeah, you're gonna assign it like this. You don't need any, you just put the number and that's it. It's going to be stored into the variable. In strings, you need to specify here the double commas or single commas and put the string inside. Yeah, this is required when you declare a string. Yeah, as you can see here, for instance. So always you are going to work with strings. You need to put it inside double commas or single commas. Yep. Then also here you can see that you can access different sections of a string here. Yeah. So for instance here, if you execute, let's make this bigger so that you can see it better. So here, for instance, I have S1 where I have stored this is a string, and I have S2 where I have stored this is also a string. Then if I print this value S1 and I specify the 0 position, what is this going to be? What is this going to print? Well, it's going to print the position 0 of the string, which is this T. Yeah? This is the position, the first character of the string is the position 0 of the string. Yeah? So this is the 0 position, the H is the position 1, the A is the position 2, the S is the position 3, the white space is the position 4, so white spaces are also characters, yeah? For instance, here we have from the S2 print the character number 8, which is, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 0, 7, 8, yeah, here we have it. So the 8 is the character A. Yeah? Here you have the expected output if you executed this program. Yep. Alright, and finally you can also concatenate strings here, as you can see. So if you have one string which says this is another string which says a string, you can concatenate them. You can, using here the at symbol, yeah? S1 plus S2 is going to result in this is a string. Yeah, you have it here. All right. Then another data type we have are lists. Yeah, so lists are defined like this. So we have an opening parenthesis here and a closing one, and inside we have many variables separated by commas. Yeah, it doesn't matter which type are they. So in this case here I have a 1, which is an integer, a 2, which is another integer, a 3, which is another integer, and then I have here a string, another string, another string, and another string. Yeah? So all these elements, all these variables are going to be contained into the list. Yes? Then, let me execute this so that you can see it. If I print this, I'm going to get the whole list. But same as with the strings, we can also access a specific value in the list. Yeah? So this first element is going to be in the position 0. This is going to be the position 1. The number 3 is going to be the position 2. This is going to be in the position 3. Yeah? So for instance, if you access the value number 2 from the list, we are going to get the number 3, as you can see here. Yeah? And one question?
One request from the audience is
yeah?
to move a little bit faster.
Move a little bit faster?
A little bit.
Okay, okay, excellent.
I've been requested several times, and then I think that maybe we can consider that.
Okay, okay, so let's, okay. I totally agree. So let's keep moving a bit faster. So yeah, so basically lists, as you can see here, it can contain many variables inside. Tuples, basically it's exactly the same as a list, with the only difference that tuples are read-only, yeah? So in a list, you can get the values, you can modify them, etc. Yeah? In a tuple, you can only read the values, you cannot modify the values, yeah? This is basically the difference between lists and tuples. And finally, we have dictionaries. Yeah, dictionaries are similar to lists as well, but each value inside a dictionary has a key. Yeah, so they are dictionaries are composed of pairs of key value. Yeah, so here we define a key, which in this case is John, and this key has a value of 25. Yeah, then we have a second element here inside the dictionary, which has a key here. In this case, the key is Daenerys, and the value of this key is 22. So if we want to access a value inside a dictionary, we do not access it through a position, like in lists or in strings, like you can see here, but we access values using the key. Yeah? So if I want to get the value of this element, I'm going to have to access the dictionary and pass it the key, the respective key, which in this case, for instance, is John. Yeah? Alright. So we have a small exercise here that I think, well, we could pass, but I'm going to do it because here we are introducing a new function from the class, which is the getLaserFull. Yeah? So, until now we have been working with the getLaser function, yeah? This getLaser function we have here, which basically returns the value of one single beam, yeah, depending on the position we put in the when we call the function, yeah. Then now we are going to introduce another function, which is called getLaserFull. Yeah, you have it here. I wrote it just in the code, and you have it as well here. But basically, this getLaserFull function is going to return all the values of all the beams, not just one, but all. From the 0 to the 719. It's going to return all the values. And how it's going to do so? Well, it's going to do so with using a list. Yeah? So, here, with the getLaser function, we get one single value, which is a float, and we store this value into the variable whatever. Yeah? Then, here, with the getLaserFull function, we are going to get all the readings and they are going to be stored into our variable as a list. Yeah? Understood? So, let me come here real quick. Yeah? I'm going to create this one, in fact, so that you can see this, because this is important. Then I'm going to create here a new Python script, which is called list.py. You can see it here. And here, what I'm going to do basically is to use this getLaser function, getLaserFull function. So I'm going to copy paste my code here. Yep. And then here I'm going to call the getLaserFull function. In this case, I don't need to pass any argument, yeah, because I don't need to specify any position because I'm going to get all of them. Yes. Then I'm going to store all these values in a variable named a, which is going to be of the list type. It's going to be a list. Yes? Then, for instance, now, if I want to print the value, if I only want to print the value of the position 360, I can do this and access here to the specific position like this. Yep, for instance, I don't know what the exercise says. It's he says, first you will call and will store, then you will print the position 0, 360, and 7. Okay, yeah, so basically, the distance in position 0 is, okay, so I'm going to do this 3 times for three different positions, in 360 and 790. Yeah, so I have my list with all the values here in the variable a, and then I'm going to print here the position 0 So I specify my variable name and I put here the number 0 because I want to print only the first value, the value in the position 0. Then here I have the 360 value, and finally I'm going to print as well the 719. Yeah, so I'm going to get infinite for 0, 2.49 or something like that for 360, and infinite again for 719. Yep. So let's try this. Let's execute it real quick. Let's go there. And there we have it, yeah? So the distance in position 0 is infinite, in position 360 is 2.47, and in 719 it's infinite again. Alright? Okay, so now we have this other function, getListenerFull, yeah? We have already two functions. Then, let's keep going. We have another exercise here. We are not going to do it because it's more of the same, basically. Here we are working with different types, dictionaries, etc. Then, very quickly, input-output function. So, for output functions, you have already been working with them. It's print, yeah? So, the print function is going to allow you to output things here to the web shell, yeah? Super simple, yeah? You can print anything you want. You have here some examples if you want to check them. I'm not going to go deeper into this right now. Yeah, but basically, if you want to output or communicate something to the user here through the shell, etc., you are going to use the print function. But there's also the other way around, which is to get data into your program from the user. Yes? And that is done using the input function we have here, yeah? So the input function is the contrary, let's say, to the print function. So basically, the input function is going to ask information to the user, which is executing the program, and then it's going to get this data and use it inside the program, yeah? So for instance, we have an example here, which says name. Yeah, let me create here a program, a very quick program to show this. New file, input, I'm going to name it input.py, and I'm going to copy this code here and paste it here. Yeah? So super simple. Here I'm executing an input function. Here I'm calling the input function with the text, what's your name? Yes? Then this, let me execute it in fact. So Python input. Yeah? So this prints this string here. The what's your name string is printed here in my shell. So now I can write here my name, for instance, Alberto. And if when I press the enter key, this value, Alberto, this string is going to be saved into the variable name. Yeah? So then the print function is going to be called and it's going to say, nice to meet you, and Alberto, because it's the value that it has been saved here in the name variable. Yeah? So I'm going to click here the enter, and I can see here, nice to meet you, Alberto. Yeah? So this way, with the input function, you can ask the user to give you some kind of information so that you can use it in your program, in your Python program. Yeah? All right, so input-output functions. Let's keep going. Here we have another example of inputs, but I leave this for you so that you can check it later. This one is interesting because it's an important difference between Python 2 and Python 3. But anyways, you can check it later, yeah, by yourselves, because now it's not crucial. All right, then finally, super quickly as well, operators in Python. We have arithmetic operators, which are basically addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. Yeah, I think all of you are aware of this, know what this is, so no more explanation needed. Assignment operators. Yeah, we have the operator to assign a value. So this equal value basically will assign a value to a variable. Yeah. Then you have also the plus equal, minus equal, and multiplication equal, division equal, and modulus equal, which are equivalent to this. Yeah. So if you write, for instance, this x plus equal 1, this is the same as saying x is equals to x plus 1. Yeah, this is more something more mathematical than Python. So yeah, I'm not going to spend much time on this as well. And probably you already know this is done. I think it's explained in the first week of universities. So yeah. Then comparison operators. This is going to be very important when we reach the conditional statements. Yeah. So it is more important. So in order to compare two variables, we have the equal, which is expressed like this with two equal symbols. We have the exclamation symbol equal, which means not equal. Yeah. Then we have the greater than, less than, greater or equal to, and less or equal to. Yeah. So these elements are going to be used in conditional statements, like we can see here, which are probably the most important things in a Python program, yeah? Because without conditional statements, it's impossible to build any useful program, yeah? We are going to do this, I think, in the next unit, so don't worry. But super important, comparison operators when we are working with conditional statements. Yep. Then finally, comments. You can write comments in your Python programs like this, using the hashtag symbol. Yeah? So for instance, I can come here to my program, which I have here, and I can add a comment here. For instance, I will write the hashtag symbol. You can see that the color is different, and I can add here any comment I want. So for instance, this get laser full function gets all the laser readings. Yeah, so I can add here a comment, and this is not going to be executed. Yeah, so when I execute my command Python whatever, this line here that starts with a hashtag is not going to be executed. Yeah. So basically, these comments can be used in order to document your programs, yeah? Because if you are going to work in a team and other people is going to be using your programs, you can document and add comments so that your programs are easier to understand, yeah? Or for instance, if you don't want, if when testing you want to remove a line of your program, you can just add a hashtag at the beginning of the line, and this line, as you can see, turns green, and it's not going to be executed anymore. Yep. All right. So we have finished first chapter, Python Essentials. So far so good. So all of you, please move to chapter 3, conditional statements and loops. Let's click here on the chapter, and meanwhile it is loading, I'm going to have a look at the chat and see how it is going. Okay, I can see here, thank you. Okay. I see some people asking about the exam. Where is the test? How many times I have to take the exam? Okay, don't worry. When I finish this live class in 40 minutes, more or less, I'm going to explain you how you can reach the test, how to go there and how to do it. So don't worry. All right.
What's the test? Ready.
Ready? Yeah, everybody is on path. Are you on unit 3, conditional statements and loops, all of you? Yeah? Let me refresh this to see the simulation nicer, by the way, because I'm seeing this block here. All right. Let's see. Ready? Yeah, we are on track. Loaded. Excellent. I see here. Thank you so much for this program from America. You're welcome. Fadi, you're welcome. No free day tomorrow. We start ROS. Yeah, that's true, Kobe. Tomorrow, no free day. Tomorrow we are going to start learning ROS. So I want you everybody to be here with me, learning ROS. I am loaded. Unit 3 loaded. Ready and set. Yes, unit 3. Okay, let's go for it then. everybody is here in Unit 3 with me, so we are going to start here with conditional statements, which, as I've said before, they are essential in any program, yeah? So, as we have here in the notebook, life is made basically of decisions, so you have always to make decisions in your life, yeah? And in programming is the same, yeah? So, in your programs you have to take decisions, yeah? So, for instance, let's have a look here at this graph here that we have here. So, I could be that here we have a question, a condition, which is this one here in red. The condition is there a wall less than 1 meter in front of the robot? Then the outcome can be either yes or no, which in your program this traduces to true or false, yeah? So if the condition is met, that operation is going to return a true value. If not, that operation is going to return a false value, yeah? So our condition here is there a wall less than 1 meter in front of the robot? Yes or not? If yes, then you are going to stop the robot. If no, then you are going to keep moving the robot forward. And in either case, in any of these cases, you are going to print the distance to this wall, yeah? Then this in a program, this is not a definitive program, but just a structure, would be written like this. If wall is closed, yeah, this is the condition to evaluate, then stop robot. Else, which means if this condition is not met, then keep moving. And in any case, print reading, yeah? So this scheme we have here would be traduced in a program in something like this, yes? Then you can see some things here. First of all is the indentation. So you can see that this here, it has a separation. Yeah? It's not starting at the same level of the if. The same here with the else. What we have inside the else is not starting at the same level. Yeah? This in Python is called indentation. Yeah? This is an indentation. Then what does this mean? That this line here, which is indented, it's inside this condition. So it's only going to be executed if this condition is met. And the same for this one. This line here, which is indented, it's only going to be executed if the above condition is met. Yes? If this condition is met, this line is not going to be executed ever. The last line, however, is going to be executed in any case. Why? Because it's at the same level of these conditional statements. Yes? Then, as you can see here, if condition, and you have the statements here indented. Super important, the indentation. Yeah, this is crucial and critical in Python. If you don't indentate your program properly, it's not going to work. Yeah, super important. Here you have it explained, blocks and indentations. Then we have here a very quick example. Let's get it and execute it very quickly. So I'm going to create here a favmovie.py. So again, remember, everything I'm doing is explained in the notebooks, yeah? So I'm going to create here a new Python script, which is going to be named favmovie.py. So here, new file, favmovie.py. And here I'm going to paste the code I had there in my notebook. And basically this program is super simple. So I have an input here, which is going to ask to the user, what's your favorite movie? Then I'm going to save the response, the answer of the user, into this variable, movie, and then I'm going to check what does this variable contain. If the variable if the variable movie contains the string Avengers Endgame, I'm going to print here a string to the user which says good choice. Yeah? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to execute this piece of Python script. So it's inside robot control, Python Fab movie. Here I get what's your favorite movie. Then I'm going to enter here Avengers Endgame. I'm going to click enter, and then I'm getting an error which it's happening. Why? I'm not sure. Endgame. Okay. Yeah, very good point that I'm getting this error. Do you know why I'm getting this error? Because I'm not executing this program with Python 3. Yes? I haven't sourced my environment to use Python 3. You can see that here in my prompt, I don't have the Python 3 prefix. Yeah? So I'm going to do that right now. Source, if I'm not wrong, this was, let me check here, py3 vemp bin activate. Yeah, so now I am inside my Python 3 environment. So now I can execute my program and it's going to work. Yeah, it's not working because I'm not in the folder where the program is. Now I am. Yeah, here I am. I have the program here. So now I can do Python fab movie. What's your favorite movie? Avengers Endgame. What? Okay. Okay.
So to maybe to move to the other parts also because it's still functions and classes. So what do you think?
You're going to.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, so here you can see that I have asked with the input to the user to tell me his favorite movie, then this condition is met, and then this print is executed. Yeah? If not, however, if I don't choose this movie, I say, for instance, I don't know, Titanic, then nothing happens. Yeah? Because this condition is not met. If movie is not Avengers game, so this condition is not met, and then this print is not printed. Yeah? Okay, so pretty straightforward. Here we have some more examples with other options. Well, this one is, it could be interesting to put. Yeah, so let me just execute this one, which is the more complete one. Then I'm going to paste it here and I'm going to explain just a couple of things. So basically, important here, the same. I am asking the favorite movie, but I am here taking much more considerations. So here I am checking if the movie is Avengers Endgame or Titanic, yeah? So you can put more than one condition in a conditional statement, yes? So I can check if this or this. Then if either of these two conditions, if one of any of these is met, then I'm going to enter this print and I'm going to execute this print. Yeah? Then elif, what does this mean? This means else if. So besides the first condition, I'm going to check another condition. Yeah? So if the movie is Star Wars, then I'm going to enter here in this print. Yeah? And else, if any of these conditions is met, so if these conditions results in true, then I'm going to print this. Yeah. So here I have all the options contemplated. Yeah. Because you can choose to input this movie or this one or any other, and then you are going to get anyways an answer. Yeah. So this is basically the conditional statement you can use. If, else if, which is is the elif keyword and else. Yep. Then here we have a very interesting exercise, in fact, that we are going to do because it's very interesting. Then I'm going to do it with you so that we go faster. Then we are going to create here the test if Python script. So let's create the new file, test if.py. Then, so inside this Python script, we are going to create a program, a Python program, that reproduces the flowchart expected above, showed above. This flowchart, the one we did at the beginning, which says, is there a wall less than 1 meter in front of the robot? Yes, then stop. No, keep moving. Print reading. So we have to create that program that reproduces this. And that works with our simulation, yeah? So the expected behavior is this one, is shown here. So, okay, let's do it. Let's do this. Then, what do we need? Let's get here the structure from here. So I'm going to get from here the structure, robot control. Then, two new functions are introduced here. Move straight and stop robot, yeah? Well, they are self-explanatory. So the move straight is going to move the robot forward, yes, in a straight line. And the stop robot is going to stop the robot movement, yes? So super simple. Then, how can we do this? So, first of all, we need to get the value in front of the robot, yes? So we need to get some kind of information from the laser of the robot. Yes? So we need to know what is the distance of this wall in respect to the robot. We need this. So this is alright. Then, with this, we have to start evaluating this. So, if the value A is lower than 1 meter, what am I going to do? I'm going to call the move straight function. Yes? Makes sense? Then, oops, I messed this. Then, else, if not, no, sorry, if the distance is lower than 1, I'm going to stop the robot, not move straight. Then, else, I'm going to move straight. Yes? Does it make sense? So, first of all, we get the reading of the laser right in front of the robot so that we can know the distance from the robot to the wall. Then, if this distance is lower than 1, which means that it's lower than 1 meter, we are going to call the stop function, which is, by the way, it's not a stop, it's stop robot. So I need to modify this. So I'm going to call the stop robot function, which is going to stop the robot. Then else, if not, if it's higher than 1 meter, I'm going to move straight. And finally, I'm going to print the distance to a robot. Yes? Then we are going to execute this, and you're going to see the behavior. So, as you can see, the robot is not stopping. It keeps moving forward until it crashes with the wall. Why this is happening? Well, this is interesting, and let me explain it super quickly. First of all, let me stop real quick the robot from moving forward. Alright. And I'm going to reset here the position of my robot so that it goes back to the initial state. There we have it. Alright. Then what is happening here? Well, what is happening here is that we are evaluating the distance one single time here. You can see here, when I executed the program, I got the distance of 246, which happens to be higher than 1. So my program enters into this condition, which is move straight. So the robot starts moving forward, I print the value, and my program stops. So my robot is going to keep moving straight until it crashes with the wall. Yeah? Then, how can we solve this? How can we make the robot stop before crashing with the wall? Well, for this we need to find a way to constantly evaluate the distance. Yeah. So to repeatedly evaluate the distance to the wall. And how can we achieve this? With loops. Yes. With a loop, which comes perfect now to start the loops section. So What is a loop? Basically, a loop is a way of constantly and repeatedly check a condition. Yeah, here we have the flowchart. So, is there a wall less than 1 meter in front of the robot? Yes. Then stop the robot. No. Then keep moving and go back to check this condition. Yeah? So this condition, in case it's not met, is going to keep repeatedly evaluating itself. Yes? And how do we do this? Well, this flowchart will result in a program similar to this. So, while wall is not closer than 1 meter, I'm going to keep moving. Then, when this condition is not met, I'm going to go outside this loop and I'm going to stop the robot. Yes? So this is the easiest loop that you can see. So we have a counter which is initialized to 0. Then while counter is less than 10, I'm going to enter and I'm going to execute this. So I'm going to first of all add 1 to the counter. So counter variable is going to become 1. Then I'm going to print the value, which is going to be 1. And then I'm not going to keep going down the program. No, I'm going to go back to the first line, here to the while, and I'm going to evaluate now. So now counter has the value of 1, so it still meets this condition, so I'm going to keep executing this. And when I reach the end of the loop, I'm going to go back at the beginning to evaluate again the condition until this condition is not met. So when this condition is not met, so when this counter variable is 11, let's say, for instance, then this is going to break and it's going to keep going with the regular flow of the program. Yes? Then, with this being said, how can I fix this program so that I get the expected behavior? Yeah? So, what would you do? So here we need to add the while loop. So while A is higher than 1, yes? So while the distance to the obstacle is higher than 1, I'm going to keep moving the robot, yes? But what else? I need to get the new reading, yes? So I need to evaluate one more time the distance, yes? So I need to update the value of A, because otherwise I'm only going to get the first value here. So I need to re-evaluate, so get the new updated value, yes? Then let me fix this real quick. Let me put here a print. I'm going to put it inside the while so that we get information about this. Yes, so are you following? So basically, here I'm going to get a first reading of the distance to the wall. Yes, then while this distance is higher than 1, I'm going to move the robot forward, straight, towards the wall. Then I'm going to re-evaluate the distance to the wall. Yes, here you have it. I'm going to re-evaluate it. I'm going to update the value of A, and I'm going to print the current distance. And then I'm going to come back here and evaluate this new value. And when this condition is not met, so when the wall is closer than 1 meter, I'm going to stop the robot. Yes? Then let's test this program now, and let's execute it. So Python test if. Let's see what happens now. Real quick here. Okay, let me execute it. Then it starts moving forward. And now the robot has stopped. Yeah? So once the value has gone under 1, the robot has stopped. Yeah? So this is the power of loops. Yeah? They allow you to constantly keep evaluating a condition and even updating
the variables evaluated in that condition. Yes? So this is what are whiles for. This is what loops are for. Then basically in Python we have two main kinds of loops, which are the while loop, which is the one we have seen here, and we have also the for loop. Yes, here you have it, which is basically another way of creating a loop. Yes, you have here the example, the most basic example of a for loop. So given a list, for instance, here I have a list of names with Yoda, Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Palpatine. Yeah, then I can say for each value in this list, which is named names. Yes, sorry. So for each element inside this variable, inside names, I'm going to print each value. Yeah, so if I execute this loop, I'm going to get the following result. I'm going to print all the elements inside the names list, inside the names variable. Yes? Excellent. So let me have a quick look at the chat and see how things are going, because I have been talking for a while. How do you reset the robot position? Well, okay, so the robot position, you reset it here. Here in the simulation window, in the icon we have at the center, at the middle, it says reset the simulation. If you click here, as you have seen, the robot will go back to its initial position. Yes? This is the way you can reset the robot's position. My robot didn't move. Robot isn't moving. Well, then probably you have something wrong in your program, I would say. Yeah, it's okay. Benjamin Rossi's code is working. Yeah, so if you have seen, this is pretty simple. I have executed right here. So if your robot is not moving, probably you are not calling this function. Basically, yeah. So there must be something wrong in your code. You are not calling this function, or you are not importing this class. There must be something wrong in your code, yeah. So have a look at your code, review it, and see what's wrong there. My while loop is working, Gloria. Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad that it's working. So for the ones who is not working, please have a look. I have gone pretty fast now, so have a look slowly at the course, at the notebooks, at your programs, and fix it. Yeah. Then okay, so we have 15 minutes left. Let's keep going a little bit more here. Try to end this. Here you have interruption of loop iteration, the break, so how you can break the flow of a loop. I'm going to escape this because I want to, you can check it by yourselves when the class finishes. I want to go to functions and at least explain the essential things of functions. So I'm going to move here to the unit for functions, yes? I want to at least do the introduction to functions.
Is complaining about they are having only 4 lectures. Do you have more lectures? What about the 4th is about the functions, isn't it?
There are more.
And the 5
yeah.
And the 5 is about the
Python classes.
Yes.
And object-oriented programming. And 6 is project.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense then.
Yeah, maybe try to refresh your course. I don't know. So you should have here the same as I have. So 1 introduction, 2 Python essential, 3 conditional statements and loops, functions, Python classes and OOP, which is object-oriented programming, project, and finally unit 7 recommendations after the course. Yeah, so you should have exactly the same as I have here. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, first of all, here in unit 4 functions, we have a new robot. Yes, so we have changed our robot. We are not working anymore with Turtlebot, and now we are going to start working with a Summit Excel robot. Yeah, the environment has also changed. This is an office, as you can see here, with different rooms. Yeah, so all of you should have this environment here loaded. Yes, you can make it bigger here in order to see it better, to appreciate it better. Yeah, but all of you should have this environment now. We are in unit 4
functions. Yeah. So functions. What are functions for? Well, the concept of function, it's first of all I want to say that it's super important. It's one of the most important concepts in programming. Yeah, because it allows you to group some kind of functionality in order to be able to reuse it on your code. Yeah, so this is the main goal of a function. Yeah, it allows you to write some kind of functionality, to wrap a piece of code that provides some kind of functionality, and you can reuse that in your code or even in other programs. Yeah, so that you don't have to write again and again and again the same thing. Yes. Then, how do you create a function? Well, you use the def statement like this. Yeah, so you use the def statement, you give a name to your function, and you put an opening and closing parentheses. Yes. Then inside the function you put whatever you want to do. Yes. So I'm going to create here a simple one. So for instance, I'm going to create here a function that is going to add. Yeah. So I'm going to grab here this. I'm going to create here a new Python script which is going to be named test function.py. I'm going to paste here the code. Yeah. So basically here we have everything. So we have the function definition. My function is going to be called add, and it's going to receive two parameters, a and b. Yes. Then inside the function I'm going to grab these parameters a and b, and I'm going to add them, and I'm going to put the result of this operation into a new variable named res, and then I'm going to print this res variable. Yes. Then here what I'm doing is I'm calling this function and I'm passing two parameters, 2 and 2. Yes. So the first value here is going to be assigned to the argument a, and the second one is going to be assigned to the argument b. Yes. Then inside my function I'm going to add 2 plus 2, so that I'm going to have here in the result variable the integer 4, which is the number I'm going to print. Yes. So super simple function which adds two numbers. Then let me execute it. Let me execute this. Python test function. Oh right, I'm not in the correct folder. To come here. Okay, now I am. Python test function. So I get here the 4 number. Yes, as you can see. So important things. So things that you need to know here about functions. You define a new function using the def statement like this. Yes. Then you give the name to your function and you select the parameters. Yes. You can give default values to your parameters like this. Here in the next example you can see that we are declaring the parameters and we are giving default values. So in case I call this function without providing the parameters, then I'm going to use the default values. Yes. Then inside my function I do whatever I want. In this case I do an add operation, and I return a result. Yes. So this is the most basic function. So here in this exercise it says create a function that, given an integer number, makes the robot move straight for that amount of time. For instance, if the given number is 5, the robot will move straight for 5 seconds. Yes? Then let's do this. So I want to do this exercise because it's interesting. In order to end, this is the last exercise we are going to do, yeah? So I'm going to do this here. Okay, so for this, I'm going to need different things. So first of all, I'm going to need to import my class here. Here we go, test function. So I'm going to import my class so that I can use the functions. Yes, I need to import my row control class so that I can use the move straight functions and all these functions. Yes? Then also I'm going to import time. Yes, this is explained here. You can see here in the note if you want more details about this, about how to use the time module in Python. But I'm going to import time here, which is going to allow me to pause my program for a certain amount of time. Yeah. Then here I'm going to define my function. So def, I'm going to call my function move 5 secs. No, I'm going to call it move x secs. And then I'm going to define a parameter here which is going to be called seconds. Yes? Then inside my function I'm going to call the RC element, and I'm going to call the move straight function right here. Yes? Then I'm going to do an sleep time sleep of the parameter seconds. Yeah, so I'm going to sleep, I'm going to pause my program for unspecified number of seconds, and then after this I'm going to stop the robot. I'm going to one more time call the function, the corresponding function, to stop the robot, which it was stop robot. Yeah. Then here I'm going to call this function, which is move x secs, and I'm going to specify the number 5. So I want to move forward for 5 seconds. After that, I want the robot to stop. Yes? So here I am calling my function. I am defining this parameter. I am setting this parameter to 5, and then I'm going to start moving the robot forward. I'm going to sleep my program for 5 seconds while it is moving forward, and after these 5 seconds pass, I'm going to stop the robot. Yes? So let me save this and execute it and see what happens. So Python test function, there we go. Okay, so you can see here my robot starts moving for some seconds, and after the 5 seconds pass, it stops. Yes? So you can see I have created here a very simple function, Python function, in order to move my robot a certain amount of time. Yes? Then, so yeah, here I have created my first Python function. I see that we have 5 minutes remaining, so I'm going to start ending here. So I want you to please keep doing by yourselves what is remaining here. There is not much, as you can see, so we are explaining some special cases about functions, some interesting things and important things, by the way, like how to use global variables, also how to use the return statement, etc. You have some interesting exercises here that you can use. As you can see here, you have the solutions for all the exercises in case you get stuck. As you can see here, below the exercises, you have the solutions. So you can keep practicing with functions, super important. And when you finish functions, you can move to the next unit, which is unit 5, which will talk about Python classes and object-oriented programming. Yeah. So please, if you have time, keep doing it. Keep working on this course. If not, you can also continue tomorrow. It's not necessary that you continue today. You can continue. You can have a break now to make a coffee, whatever, and continue later. You can continue tomorrow. You can even continue, I don't know, in Thursday if you want to. It doesn't matter. But it's interesting if you don't know already this. If you already know all this, it's fine. You can skip it. But if you don't, it's super interesting that you finish this course, because you are going to get very useful knowledge and totally for free. Yes? Then, finally, before ending this class, I'm going to exit here. I'm going to go back to my main screen. Then here you can see at the beginning, at the top section of the screen, you can see the code foundation for ROS. Yes, here the prerequisites, code foundation, this is in the featured paths section, yes? Then if you enter this one, the code foundation for ROS, you are going to see here that you have the Python for Robotics course, the Linux for Robotics course, and finally you have the prerequisites exam, yes? Then here you can, if you click the start exam, you are going to enter the exam, yeah, the test, the evaluation test, which is going to test your knowledge of Linux and Python, yes? Then this is the way you are going to be able to do this exam, yes? Then very important, be sure, I don't remember exactly how many tries you have for this exam, maybe 2 or 1?
As many as they want.
Okay, so you are going to be able to do this exam as many times as you want. So yeah, once also important, once you enter this exam, in fact I'm going to enter real quick to show you. Okay, well you need to verify yourself, yeah, important, I don't have it done here in this account, but you are going to need to verify yourself, because this is, as I've said before, this is going to generate a certificate, yeah, so we need some kind of proof that it is you, the one that is doing the certificate, and you are not calling, I don't know, you are not calling Stephen Hawking to do the exam for you, yeah, so we need to make sure that it's you who is doing the exam, yes? Then when you finish the exam, you are going to have a system that is going to automatically correct the exam and is going to provide a mark to you. Yes, all of this is going to be explained here inside the notebooks exam, so don't worry. Once you enter the exam, you have a look at the notebook, and all of this is going to be properly explaining how to autocorrect the exam, which is with a single click in a button, so no more than that. Yeah, but yeah, here is where you are going to be able to enter the exam. Yes. And well, that's basically it. So let me have a quick look at the chat. Let's see what you are guys saying. Yeah, Alberto is explaining right now about the exam. Yeah. So let me switch. Well, super quickly before showing you all of you my pretty face. I want to show one last time. Here the schedule. So remember. Remember, today we have done the Python for Robotics. We have not been able to finish the whole course because of time limitations. It's impossible. Yeah, too much things to cover. Then please do it. Finish it by yourselves. You have already you already know how to access the course. It's totally free, so you can do it. Then once you finish Linux for Robotics and Python, you can take this evaluation test, which I have just explained as well how to access it. And then tomorrow we are going to start working with ROS. Yes, then tomorrow we are going to change the platform. We are going to start working with the ROS Development Studio. So we are not going to work anymore with the... We are not going to work anymore in Robotic Night Academy, but we are going to move to the ROS Development Studio, which is right here, yeah? ROS DS Online. From tomorrow until Friday, we are going to start working on the ROS Development Studio, yeah? Then tomorrow, before starting, I'm going to explain about the ROS Development Studio, and how you can use this, difference with the Academy, etc. Yes, but this is going to be tomorrow, so don't worry now. Then, okay, let me show you my face before finishing. Hello there. Let me have a look here at the comments you are saying here. Yeah, so I can see here my colleagues are answering your question. How long is the exam? You can take the exam, I'm not sure, it's 2 hours. So you have 2 hours to do the exam. If I don't remember wrong. All of this is explained inside the exam notebook. Yes? So once you open the exam, you are going to have a notebook, the same as in the course, and in the exam's notebook, everything is explained, how much time you have, and also what you need to do in the exam, yeah? Thank you, sir. Thanks, Alberto. Okay. How can we contact you guys for more information on the Robotic Night Academy? Okay, if you want information about the platform, you should contact us to the email that we are going to provide it to you right now. or you can search it in our in any of our platforms. You are going to find the contact us section. Yes, so if you want information about the platform, then you can contact us to our emails, or if it is information related to the courses in our academy, then you have to post it in the forum. Yes, in the forum I explained at the beginning of this class. So if it's related to courses, doubts doing the courses, problems you face while doing the courses, then please post it in the forum. Thank you so much for the course. Gracias desde... Okay, thank you from Argentina. Okay. Can we give the exam multiple times? Yes, you can. To it, you are going to be able to repeat the exam in case you fail it. Gloria is saying, I think the speed was fine. It's just not possible to complete the 5+ hours course in 2 hours. Yeah, I mean, that's completely impossible to do the full course in 2 hours. It's completely impossible. And the speed, it's a hard thing to say. I mean, because we have people from many levels, and we can go faster, we can go slower. If we go very fast, probably the ones that cannot follow will complain. If we go too slow, then the ones which have a higher level will complain. So it's hard at the end to satisfy everybody. Yeah, but well, we try to do our best. At least now we have completed the prerequisites, and tomorrow we are going to start with ROS. Yes? So I'm going to try to follow an intermediate path. Not very slow and not very fast, so that everybody is happy. I will do my best to satisfy all of you. So yeah. I have here Ricardo, which is... Oh yeah, you can see here my bottle. So I'm drinking... And I'm refilling here my super fancy ROS developer cup, by the way. Also because since I've been talking non-stop for 2 hours, so I need to keep hydrating my throat. Yeah. All right. So speed is fine. I can read here. Thanks so much for the course. It's just a start, but fun so far and gives an idea what you can do. Okay, you're welcome, you're welcome. Easy to understand. Okay. Excited for tomorrow. Yeah, I'm excited as well. So tomorrow we are going to start ROS. We are going to start learning how to use ROS to program robots. Yes? So yeah, I think that's all for today. I hope you all enjoyed. You've learned something new. I hope to see you all tomorrow. And I want to repeat today also, as I did yesterday, please stay home, don't go outside. We have to stay home and be responsible in order to win this fight against the coronavirus, the COVID-19. So all of you, please stay home, and we are going to provide you content and so that you can stay home learning ROS and practicing ROS. Yeah, so that is our work, to give you content so that you don't have to go outside. Yes? Then, all right, so yeah, all of you, thank you very much for attending this class, and I will see you tomorrow for the first ROS class. Yeah, so to start learning basic concepts of ROS. So, okay, I'm going to wait a moment. Ricardo is telling me here to wait.
Wrong link for the forum. It's missing some part, so I'm putting that on the chat.
Sorry, so you don't get the link to reach the forum?
Yeah, so I posted, but it was wrong. It was missing some part.
Okay, so the forum... Well, the forum, you have the link right here in the Get Help button. Yes, here in the Robotic Night Academy, you are going to see here a button which is Get Help in yellow. So if you click here, it's going to take you to the forum. Yeah, no big mystery. All right, you have it here, and here you can post any questions you want related to the courses. Yes, I can see here a new post from Gloria de Felix 1 minute ago, who says, want to join an online ROS study group? Yeah, so here we have the first post from Gloria. Very nice, Gloria. You have reached here the forum perfectly. All right, so
So yeah, I think are we ready? Okay, so let me finish this. So thank you all very much. I will see you all tomorrow for the first ROS class, and keep pushing your ROS learning. Bye bye.